what's up guys? My name is Ilyas and welcome to the 29th tutorial. And in the tutorial we will actually start coding for jQuery and stuff. Oh, I mean for AJAX and stuff, sorry. Alright, so I promised you guys we will create this function to display the text description to every image. And there's something I want you to do before we continue. And just go ahead to your project folder and please create a folder called text. And inside of this folder, please create 8 text documents. And within each document, just place this number 3 or number 4. I mean, just place this number of this text document like this. And the further text you type here doesn't matter. Well, it's just a dummy text. And the next thing I want you guys to do is to create these IDs for images from 1 to 8. And when you're done with it, we can already start programming and doing some cool stuff. Yeah. So now we have this script.js which we created in the previous tutorials, and there's something I want to replace. So you know, when we want to change the picture on the frame, we use this. We grab the main, and this main is actually an image, which is this image, and we set its source attribute to the source of the picture which is clicked. I hope you guys got it. But now we also need to pass the image's ID so that we open the picture, because you know we have IDs from 1 to 8 as well as text documents from 1 to 8. So this is easy to access the text documents. And I want to move these functions to a new function which we will create by ourselves. And I'll just call the function, I spelled the function wrong. I'll just call the function setImg. And the function setImg will pass 2 parameters, or will take 2 parameters, source and ID. So we can already get rid of this definition of this line of code and paste it right here. And instead of calling this function, we'll call our own function setImage, passing the source. And now we're missing the ID, which we also need to pass. So you know, this that sounds funny, but this refers to the image which is clicked. And you can also access not only its attribute of source, but we can also access its attribute of ID. So I'll create a new variable called ID, and I'll just type this dot attribute ID. So now we have as well the source and the ID in variable source and ID. And we can pass this ID to the function setImage. ID right here. And this setImage function will contain our AJAX feature. And so in this tutorial we'll pretty much prepare our code for working with AJAX. In the next tutorial we'll write our first line of AJAX code. So right now we have this ID and we have ID here. And what you also want to do, we want to find the functions where we use this main attribute source. And these are right click and left click functions. When right click functions mean that we click the right arrow, so we switch to the next picture. So instead of having this function, we'll replace it through the setImage function which we created just now, and pass the parameters of source and no, in this case next source, because we call the variable next source, so we want to pass this variable to the setImage function. And we also need the ID of this element. So how to get the ID of this element? This is a very tricky question, but we'll get it. So var next source and stuff, we can actually just copy this line of code, and instead of accessing the attribute of source, we'll access the attribute of ID, and rename this variable to ID of course as well. And the same code we can use in the left click function as well. So just copy this code and create a variable called ID and access the attribute of ID instead of source. And right here, I'll just copy this one. No, let me type it for you guys. So set image pref source, because we click to the left and we call the variable pref source comma ID. Yep, and now it should work. Now we just passing the ID, but the function doesn't know what to do with the ID, which is alright because the function should work anyway. And now we just test if our modified code still works. Yeah, it still works. So in the next tutorial, we will be ready to work with AJAX, because we already prepared our source code so that we can work with it. When we have this set image function, within of which we will write our first lines of AJAX code, and we will access the text element in the folder of txt via this ID parameter. Alright guys, I hope it sounds fun, and I hope you also learn new stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial where we will start writing our first AJAX code in jQuery. So thanks for watching guys, and see you later. Bye bye.